Alright, so I'm shooting this video right now. I'm finishing up some work. It's 8:41 p.m. Let's just say it's been a long day, but I'm making this video for the people who are struggling and are working on so many things at the same time. And they see potential in everything, and in reality, it's almost like they love everything. They love doing so many things, and we can call it the polymath. And it's almost like, for me, a badge of honor to call myself a polymath, right? Like I believe myself to be one because everywhere and anything that I do, I can pick it up really quick. It's just a matter of whether I want to or whether it fits into my framework. And so I'm realizing that right now I find myself in a tough spot. Like, just created this image, and this is like art, right? This is AI. I didn't create it. I asked AI to help me create it. But I think that that's a creative process within itself. Like, I have it in my mind, and I'm not just asking the computer to just create it out of nowhere. Like, I have it in my mind. I see it in my eyes, like what it is, how I want it to feel, how I want it to look like. The colors and all of that, and so right now it thanks to AI, I can now create it without having to go through the process of learning to draw, and I can focus on other things such as animation. And so I find myself in this place where the point of this video is that I find myself in this place sometimes going around and around and almost feeling like it's directionless, like I'm going in circles. And I've even had conversations with my wife about this because she's said, like, you're all over the place, like you don't know exactly what it is you want. You say that you're done with this, but then you come back and it's not even arguments. She's just pointing things out to me, and I'm like, well, shit, for me, I thought it was that I needed money or I needed more time. And I think, yes, it is partly those things, but more importantly, I think that it's just, I just need to let go. And I think that a lot of people need to hear this. Just need to let go of the necessity to know where you're headed. I think that in this life, for example, I thought I was going to be a YouTuber within, a few years, a YouTuber, and make YouTube videos, and I'll do my own thing, but I'm still doing that, but now it's so different than what I thought I was gonna do. Like, I want to create multiple channels. I want to leave not so much a legacy, but more so, um, just these things, these little vessels for transformation. Like, I want to, my stories, my realizations, I want to help other people get there. And I think that that's the thing that mainly drives me when it comes to creating, like, my process. Like, I want to transplant my story into somebody else's brain, because I know that these are things that have helped me. Like, me, outside of work, like, I'm stressed out right now, but outside of the work that I do, I'm a very happy individual. Like, I'm very content. I've gone through a lot of things, but I've managed to create a beautiful space with my wife. I have my son that I love so much, and I'm not waking up every day stressed out, wondering about how much I'm gonna make or whether I'm gonna make money. Like, I feel like I've worked on a lot of things that have allowed me to release so much fear within me. Like, I'm not a fearful man. I believe myself to be very courageous, to go after what I want, and that's something that people can't take away from me. The fact that when I set my mind to something, I go and do it because I believe in the vision more than I do the current reality. And I think that that's a thing that that people with potential, with creativity, they're gonna struggle with that, because um, they're gonna find yourself in a place where you're looking at a vision and you're working things out, but you don't know whether what you're doing right now is leading you to that vision, or you don't know whether this is exactly what you should be doing in this exact moment. You don't know that. And it's so hard to do that because you have to let go of so much external validation. You truly do, because I mean, I think about myself, like, the riches are inwards, right? But sometimes, one gets lost because they don't get that. Not that they don't get that feedback, but you want more answers, you want more clarity. Um, excuse me. So, like, um, I don't know. Like, I think about this thing where I want to be this person um, who leaves a big impact in people's lives. Um, and I want to do it, but I want to do it in so many ways. Now it's almost like I've become like more than what I thought I was gonna be. Right? I thought I was just gonna be this YouTuber, and I was just gonna make some videos, and I was gonna get monetized, and then I was gonna make great works of like great creative works that are also educational or also eye-opening, insightful, and I'm still working on that, like I said. But now I have so many things, and it's like I want to do healing, I want to do dance, I want to do in the future relationships with my wife. I want to do I want to create a whole educational platform. I want to do all these things, and all these things come from me, and they all feel real. They all feel close to my heart. They all feel important. But when I look at, for example, like what it takes to be a YouTuber, I'm too spread out. Like it doesn't make sense for me to post a video on healing when I'm talking about psychology, even though I see the connections, I see exactly how they work. Like YouTube isn't gonna help me out because it's favoring people who maybe the algorithm is favoring a specific group of people, or maybe my content isn't that good. But I don't think that's the case. I think that I've been doing this for so many years that I know that I'm good at what I do. I have experience. I've had results. So it's not that I'm not good, but I just don't feel like the systems that are in place are beneficial towards what I'm trying to do, because I'm trying to move us forward. While if I try to play the game of YouTube, I will only try to do what works in the now, and so that will restrain a lot of my possibilities, or my options. So I'm finding myself in this place. I think it's a good place to be in because I'm growing. But for example, like I just did a video I'm working on. I'm finally getting back into doing my more in-depth videos full of animation. But I'm just gonna play this so that you can hear it.
The pursuit of truth is the ultimate
Sorry, that's a little loud.
goal. Nothing can prosper if truth doesn't serve as its foundation. This universe is too vast, too weird, and too beautiful to be left as a question mark within one's head. No, I must know the truth. I must function as a coherent unit within the larger makeup. The wonder I carry for the universe itself is a wonder that promises to unveil the wonder within myself. How can I mean so much but so little at the same time? How can I fit into this larger puzzle while still wondering if there is even a puzzle?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm watching it. I'm inspired. Like I'm inspired. I love it. Like I'm getting, like when I'm using my mind, I'm very precise and I'm very perfectionist. But and that could even be a video within itself. Like I don't think that perfectionism isn't a bad thing, but I'll get to that right now. But once I release my mind and I let my body hear what I'm seeing, then my body vibrates, and it's truth that it's feeling. It's raw. It's emotion, and I think that that's what I want to deliver, and that's what I want to keep living with. So I want to be able to create stuff that reflects that emotion, and so it's almost like I'm stripping away a lot of the systems, the should do's, and rather than like what I want to do, but mixing that, of course, because I think I'm in a balanced. I think this is the balance that I want to. This is the thing that I want to help you out with. Like if you're struggling with multiple passions, and you feel like you have no direction, I think that the key is understanding that when you make your existence devoted to service, just dedicated to service, um, your ego will release. Your ego will go away, meaning like the status, the fame, the money. It will go away, and it will only be, and everything will just be matter of fact. So if I need money, for example, like right now I'm working things out, right? Like I have my job that I'm working, and then I also have I'm learning to day trade. And so like those are the two things I'm focusing on for money, and then I also have my coaching services if people want to work with me. But when it comes to my art or like the work that I'm creating, I'm not thinking about money. I'm thinking about the long-term effect of what will happen when one person finds me, and then they go through like all the various kinds of content and channels that I have, and they just all resonate with this individual. What will happen then? Like it takes them through a trip. And so um I think the biggest struggle about like if you the biggest struggle is that you're not using the right measurements for understanding whether you're in the right path. Like I think, and that's the thing that I've struggled, and that's what kind of this is kind of a video of me speaking to myself. Like the reason I get stressed out is because I don't see anybody else that's doing this exact same thing. If I was on the path of success, I'd be able to see what other people are doing, and I'd be able to see whether my path is in alignment with their path, and then I just copy what they did, and then I'd probably receive the money because that's kind of like that works. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like that does work, right? But is that authentic? Is that real? Especially now that we're moving into the age where authenticity is going to be the key to connecting with people, especially with the with the rise of AI. um is that authentic? Like I think that's what's going to be matter. Authenticity is going to be the factor. It is the factor. So I want everything to be showered with that, and I have to move from a place where nobody else has gone. I have to go to places that nobody else has gone. I have to go to places that only my soul knows, that only my soul is guiding me towards. And this is untreaded territory. Like I think about, even like esoterically speaking, like the masters or the geniuses of the world, the spiritually enlightened. Um, it's not like that I'm trying to be like them, but I think that this is my journey. And I think that this is something important. Like, I am a creator. Like, yes, there are people greater than me. Yes, there are heavenly beings greater than me. Yes, there are, etc., etc. Right? People more successful than me. But this is my path. And if I don't commit to this path completely, devotedly, just surrender to it, then it's not gonna be worth it. Like there's no other thing that I can do. There's no other thing that I should do except be myself. Um, and so yeah, I think that there is a progression, because I think that where I'm at now, I feel much more comfortable getting back into the work, the creative work, because the fear isn't the fear isn't there about failing. It isn't there. It's more so knowing whether, now I'm trying to figure out whether this is in line with what works, whether this makes sense. Mostly, like what I'm worried about mostly is like, is the person that comes across my channel gonna understand what I'm about? Like, is it gonna make sense? And I think if the answer is yes, then that's all that matters. All the other like technicalities, even like the other day I was struggling because I was like, should I create multiple channels, or should I just put all the videos in one channel, like lucid living, but it's gonna have like healing, and it's gonna have dancing, and it's gonna seem like it's all over the place. But then I was also thinking like, well, if I separate those channels, then it'll be clear. And I'm going for the second option. I'm gonna separate them, and I'm gonna have them all have their own individual spaces. And then on my website, I'm going to be just like having these banners where people can like look at the different channels or things, that services, or they can be like whatever I have. Um, and I think now I'm kind of like relying much more on my website, just because I don't, not so much, I don't trust YouTube. I don't want to rely on YouTube. I don't want to rely on social media. I feel like I'm moving away a little bit now from social media, and just trying to really hone in on developing a strong frameworks, and more so importantly, developing myself. So before all of this, I'm putting a lot of time into just having a good relationship with my wife, having a good relationship with myself, being at peace, but also, you know, understanding that I'm, you know, tuning into my purpose, working on my purpose on the day to day. You know, making sure to unite my external work with my internal work, and as long as that happens, then, you know, then it gives me the patience that I need. So, um, yeah, like in there's this post that I wrote. It's called the Everything Man, and I think this is where I find myself, where I don't think the way that I used to anymore. I see the connections and everything, and I think in the past I did also, but now it's become more of a reality. It's become more of a grounded reality in my life. Um, you know, everything is becoming one, like my job, my my relationship with my wife, my creative works, my endeavors. Like, it's almost like I'm raising all of these fields to become one. So like what I do on YouTube is just as important, or at least should be just as important as what I do with my wife. You know, like those things should not be more important than the other. They should be complementing and each other. So there is no isolated part. You know, usually for a regular individual, it's like you have work and then you have your creative work. Like you have your day job and then you have whatever you're interested in. But what I'm looking to do is connect them, and so they're constantly feeding each other as a system. But yeah, so I feel like I don't see things the same anymore, and I want my work to reflect that, and so I'm organizing myself in that way. And it's a painful process for sure, because I'm, yeah, just learning to let go of having to have all the answers right now, and just, you know, constructing it like I am the creator. I created this, so trust in that, and continue to just keep building. Yeah, hopefully that was helpful. um, I'm gonna share something about um, perfectionism, but I will talk about that in the next video. All right, stay lucid. Peace.